Buckle up, guys, because what I'm about to tell you is straight out of a nightmare. Imagine a world where women were forced to bear children for a sinister totalitarian regime. A world where babies were stolen from their families and raised to embody the twisted ideals of a Nazi state. That isn't just a dystopian fantasy, it's a true story. Stay tuned till the end of the video to realize the real horror of the Lesbians-Born program. The program started in 1935 and lasted until 1945. It targeted women who were considered racially fit and encouraged them to have children for the Reich. These women were tricked into thinking they were contributing to a noble cause, when in reality, they were just pawns in Hitler's sick game. Meanwhile, babies who fit the Nazis' warped idea of the perfect Aryan child were taken from their families and raised in secret birthing facilities. The Nazis were obsessed with creating a new world order, one where the superior Nordic and Germanic races ruled supreme. But there was a problem. Germany's birth rates had plummeted after World War I. Hitler and his cronies needed to find a way to address the country's genetic shortage if they were to achieve their twisted goals. The Lebensborn program was born out of this twisted ambition, and its legacy is one of tragedy and horror. Hundreds of thousands of children were stolen from their families, and the lives of the women who bore them were forever altered. The scars of this dark chapter in history still linger today, a chilling reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink. Heinrich Himmler, the notorious leader of the SS, had a twisted obsession with racial purity. In 1935, he decided to take matters into his own hands to combat the falling birth rate among his so-called Aryan race. But his solution was nothing short of horrifying. He came up with a sickening plan to make abortions of racially pure children less appealing to their mothers. He lured these women with the promise of secret, comfortable facilities to give birth to their children, but with one catch. Once the babies were born, they had to be given up to the SS. Can you imagine the terror these mothers must have felt at the thought of their precious newborns being taken away from them forever? And it gets even worse. The SS would then indoctrinate these innocent babies in Nazi ideology and give them to elite families to raise. This was Himmler's sick way of ensuring the future of his so-called master race. But the horror didn't stop there. As the war progressed and casualties decimated the German male population, Himmler ordered his officers to marry and reproduce. Women in occupied countries were also encouraged to have children with German soldiers. And if a child was thought to be racially pure, they were taken from their parents and temporarily placed in Lebensborn homes before being adopted by German families. In Poland alone, between 100,000 and 200,000 children were kidnapped, and those who failed racial purity tests were sent to orphanages or even summarily executed. The number of children born in Lebensborn homes is still shrouded in mystery, but it is said that up to 20,000 children may have been born in these homes. However, the true extent of this horrific program may never be fully known, thanks to the secrecy of mothers, incomplete and destroyed records, and the new identities given to children who were placed in Nazi families. Oh, but the trauma suffered by these innocent children is beyond comprehension. Even after the war was over, the Lebensborn children were shunned and ostracized from society both inside and outside of Germany. These children were born out of wedlock, and those whose mothers had relationships with German soldiers were branded traitors. It was a fate worse than death. One such example is Annie Frid Lyngstad, born in 1945 after her Norwegian mother had a relationship with a Nazi sergeant. Despite being given her mother's surname, she was still labeled a German child and her mother was cast out from society. The family fled to Sweden, but Lyngstad grew up lonely and isolated, forever marked as a Tysker Barnes. But amidst the darkness, there was a glimmer of hope. Lyngstad entered and won a Swedish talent contest at the age of 22, and soon after became a member of ABBA, one of the world's most successful pop groups. Yet not all Lebensborn children were as fortunate as Lyngstad. Many were sent away to different countries by the government, while the mothers were shipped off to concentration camps. The government also denied them educational and employment opportunities, leaving them with limited options for their future. In 2002, Norway offered a small amount of compensation to the Lebensborn, but it was far too little, too late. The scars of their past still haunt these victims to this day, as they struggle with the knowledge that their parents were devoted Nazis. To make matters worse, many of these kidnapped or adopted children will never know their true identities, forever lost in the quest for racial perfection by the Nazis. It is a horrifying tale, a reminder of the darkest depths of human depravity. the Lebensborn program damaged an entire generation of children who deserved nothing but love and care. Their trauma and suffering should never be forgotten, nor should we ever forget the dangers of such twisted ideologies. And this brings us to the end of the video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next one. Until then, peace.